We have two bits of information on Aaron Rodgers. So the first bit seems small, but it's something. As we often say on this show, everything is something, nothing is everything. So Wayne Larrivee is the voice of the Green Bay Packers. He's the play-by-play announcer for the Green Bay Packers. He recently said on the NFL Network, and it seems inconsequential and small, but that the house Aaron Rodgers lives in, they have scheduled one of those deep cleanings for people who aren't in the house for 5 or 6 months. That's the second bit of information we have heard on Aaron Rodgers. The other being 3 weeks ago, he rejoined the Green Bay Country Club. You wouldn't do that if you weren't coming back. So it does appear he's not going to hold out, and Aaron Rodgers getting the house cleaned, Country Club, he's coming back to the Packers. Here's the second bit of information. And big picture, I think we all knew this, but Adam Schefter is reporting for the first time, tweeting this morning, that the Packers offered Aaron Rodgers this offseason, past few months, they offered him a 2-year contract, an extension that would have kept him in Green Bay for 5 years and made him not only the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, but the highest paid player. He said, no thanks. So it's not about the money. This goes way deeper than money. He wants to control his future, and he can't in Green Bay. Now, there's a couple of things to think about here. Number one, it's much easier to move Aaron Rodgers after this season. 2 reasons. Number one, his dead cap hit goes from $38 million to $17 million. It's tough to trade him now. You take a big dead cap hit. Number 2 is Jordan Love has another year to improve. More reps, more camps, more practices. The other thing is there is major risk for both parties. What if Aaron gets hurt? He'll then be in December a 38-year-old older quarterback with a list of injuries. He's already missed 17 games as a Packer starter. Brady's old. He doesn't miss games. Eli was old. He doesn't miss games. Aaron's missed 17. If he gets hurt, how many teams want him? Remember, here's the second thing. 9 quarterbacks have been taken just in the first round the last 2 years, and most of them look like they can play. You have a shrinking market of teams that need a quarterback. So the reason everybody keeps mentioning the Denver Broncos, because they're in the AFC, and Green Bay ideally would like to get Aaron in the other conference so they don't see him guaranteed every year. They don't have to go through him to get to the Super Bowl. And the second thing is there is a shrinking number of teams that need a quarterback. The older guys are playing longer, and the younger guys are better sooner. There's just fewer and fewer teams. I was looking at a mock draft the other night. There's 4 quarterbacks going to be taken, 1 from Oklahoma, 1 from North Carolina. There's 4 more quarterbacks going in the first round next year, and over half of these guys now are hitting in the last decade. So remember, the longer you wait to trade somebody, the market changes. The market shrinks. Teams aren't going to sit around and wait for the Packers. The other thing that's not being discussed here is that generally the way it works for all businesses, media, sports, law offices, if somebody's unhappy, you want to get him out of the room. You want to get him out of the locker room. You want to get him out of the business. Because think about Aaron and his personality. When he's happy, he can be kind of condescending, right? If he's unhappy this year, how does he act? What happens to the team? Is he dismissive? Is he not exactly a team guy? There's more teams that will pass on him. And there's going to be a lot of people like, no thanks. We got 4 more quarterbacks in the first round. I mean, Tom Brady, the ultimate team guy, the best player ever, had 3 teams that really wanted him. I mean, really were all in on him. 3. Aaron Rodgers has injuries, is more difficult, is going to be much more expensive than Tom Brady was. Your list of teams, it's not going to be 9, 10, 12 teams. It could be 3 or 4. And if this year is snippy and it unravels, remember, before last year, Aaron had declined 3 straight years. Gradually, he hadn't fallen off the cliff, but there's a reason Green Bay went and drafted a quarterback. Aaron's numbers were slowly declining. Then he pops last year, and they're kind of trapped. Oh, okay, he's not getting worse. He's actually ready to go in Matt LaFleur's second year. So there's a lot of risk here. Aaron could get hurt. Aaron could turn off teams. Remember, the old quarterbacks in this league are playing longer, and the young guys are better sooner. The market is shrinking for people who want to pay $35 million for a quarterback who can be arrogant, difficult, called his own team out. So that's the latest. 2 bits of information. Looks like he's coming back, and doesn't matter if Green Bay makes him the highest paid player in the NFL. He's not interested. This goes way, way deeper than money. All right, so we said yesterday that, dynasties can often surprise us. We didn't see the Golden State Warriors winning a championship before they did. Like, we didn't see the very early days of the Golden State Warrior dynasty. Now, a lot of times, like LeBron goes to Miami and we expect it to be a dynasty, and it's almost never as good as we think. Dynasties never last as long as you think in the NFL, in the NBA, and baseball. They never do. Things change. But let's say Milwaukee wins tonight. They are favored. I think they'll win easily. I think the Suns look fatigued. And they would be a dynasty that wouldn't be from a glamorous city. They were slow and patient. They've developed players. They've just dabbled in free agency. We've had that dynasty, and it wasn't that long ago. It was called the San Antonio Spurs. Smaller market. They land a super talented big. One is coached by Greg Popovich. One is coached by his disciple. And again, they're just on the fringes of free agency. In both cases, Spurs and now the Bucks, timing has been very advantageous. When did the Spurs take the league over? When Kobe and Shaq broke up. They won 3 of the next 5. Look at the Bucks. LeBron and Kawhi leave the East. I mean, who's going to challenge Milwaukee in the East? Brooklyn. You got 2 brittle players, and you don't know. They fell apart this year. The core 3 for the Spurs. You get a big, then you get a very good wing, Manu Ginobili, and a top 10-12 guard, Tony Parker. What are the Bucks? You get an athletic big, you get Chris Middleton on the wing, and you get Drew Holiday. By the way, what's even crazier is that Manu was a second-round pick, Middleton, the wing, the second-round pick, Tony Parker late first, Drew Holiday was drafted late first. So their talent is perceived as the same. In both cases, the big, Tim Duncan and Giannis, free throw issues, loyal, humble, gracious, great on both ends of the floor. The best player when you combine both ends of the floor. Both had won 2 MVPs, and neither has the ego, Duncan or Giannis, that they need the last shot in the big games. Duncan was about winning. Giannis is about winning. Giannis and Duncan, if you do word association, driven, hungry, mature, coachable, healthy, overwhelmingly healthy. So we've seen a team like the Bucks. They could be the northern version of San Antonio. They're not real glamorous. They land a great star who's mature beyond his years, the best defensive player at his position, one of the top offensive players at his position, coachable, just gets better. His peak lasts 10 years. You got Popovich at one, a disciple of Popovich at the other. You have a system where the people surrounding him are not needy. Manu and Tony Parker. Middleton, Drew Holiday. Understand their role in a system. So, and I'll say this. The Kobe-Shaq divorce ended up being the opening for the Spurs. And LeBron and Kawhi heading west very well could be the opening Milwaukee needs. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.